Doug, first one on. What's going on, dude? Jeff, what's up, brother? What is up? Been a couple weeks. Missed you guys. Rhino Fish, what's going on, dude? Jimmy, Blair, Greg, what's up, brother? Sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. Preston, what's up, dude? Random Skills, what's going on? Bill, what's up, brother? Yep, it's been a while, man. What's up? Send me something. All right, Jeremy, Jay, Brian, Lewis. First time being first to comment. Yes, sir. Preston, Barry, Matthew. What is going on, guys? Let's people jump on here real fast. Barry, Mike, what's up? And already thick 6 thumbs up. That's awesome. You guys are on the ball tonight, man. Now that Game of Thrones is over, isn't like, is hockey still going on? J Pop's up, dude. Preston, what's going on, man? It seemed like the last few weeks something was going on. It was Mother's Day, the Game of Thrones, and then hockey. Bruins, baby, huh? Yeah, I really don't watch sports, but I knew what was going on. Did a little creek fishing for smallmouth today. Had a few fat girls. That's cool. Always cool to catch a few fat faces. What's going on, Derek? Yeah, I got home from work around, I don't know, 1 or 2, Greg, and right up the street, there's a pretty good little pond up there, like at the park pond, and we just went bluegill fishing. I think my youngest caught, I think he caught 35, and my youngest, he quit after like 12, but they were biting pretty good. What's going on, Derek? Check Cherry Noble on HBO. I think the Deadwood movie is supposed to be on tonight. Kicking off the donations. I appreciate that, Doug, and Random Skills. So first one to donate, I always talk about the giveaway. And again, I don't ask you guys to donate. I really do appreciate it. I put the money right back into the channel. So anyone that does donate, I kind of enter you guys in a little giveaway. So anyone that donates is entered in this giveaway. We do have 4.5 Plasma Tail, Green Pumpkin. We got some Red Shad Exo Sticks. We got Karl's Amazing Baits Hoss. I really like this. It's kind of like a Rage Crawl. Then a little something different. The Rage Tail Structure Bugs. 2 colors. Bama Crawl, black and blue. You guys know those are my favorite. Rapid Line Guides. And the Rapid Fishing Hook All. I got videos on that as well. So nice little giveaway for you guys. Again, I do appreciate the donations. Let's get it going early. Just got home from Slammy Largy. That's what I like to hear, Barry. Jeff, appreciate the $10, brother. Let's get the super chat train out of the station. Much appreciated, guys. TJ, do you like MLF? Kevin, I do, but I do prefer the Elite Series over it. You know, all the guys that I like to watch are no longer on the Elites, but if I could choose, I'd rather watch the Elites. Back when KVD was fishing, of course. What's going on, David? I need to go bluegill fishing. Hard to leave the bass gear at home. Yeah, no kidding, man. Yep. Mad Matt, what's up, brother? Yeah, I think about that every time I'm on the lake. You know, I love to eat some crappie, but same thing with me. You know, I'd much rather catch a largemouth than a little crappie. What's going on, Kevin from California? Andrew, what's up? Matt, appreciate the buck, brother. You're entered in the giveaway. Would you say Biospawn is your favorite brand? I can't really say I have a favorite brand at the moment. I mean, Biospawn's plastics are awesome. They're very durable. But as a newer company, they don't have that many different baits out. Now, they got plenty in the works coming, but it's hard to pick a favorite at the moment just because I like to use so many different things, and that particular company doesn't have, like I said, that many baits out. As far as craws go, I mean, I love the Vile Crawl, love the Vile Bug. So, I mean, they make solid baits for sure. And I didn't say I stopped using the Rage Crawl, but the Vile Craw's got way more kick to it than the Rage Crawl. So they've kind of replaced some of the baits that I used to use, so, you know, pretty often. But definitely big things coming from Biospawn. While we're talking about Biospawn, use code TJ81, biospawn.com, 20% off. What's going on, Joseph? Where are we at? Missing you guys. Chuck, what's going on, Chuck? And that was a nice bass caught the other day, man. We doing roll calls. Sergio, what's going on, brother? Old Ohio Angler, what's going on, bud? Adam, what's up? Sean, what's up? Joseph. Tyler. It's fun to see a bunch of fish caught on MLF, but especially at Table Rock, a lot of the anglers have a 2 and 3 big fish, or 2 3-pound big fish. Would much rather watch bass or FLW. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. It's just not as exciting, you know. What fluorocarbon lines do you use other than Seaguar and VizX? That's all I've used pretty much for the last, 10, 15 years. But Fanatic Tackle, they had sent me some to try out, which I mentioned that in the video where I was talking about the Serpent Rod from PC Fun. And so I've tried their fluorocarbon, which, to be honest, it seemed really nice. I mean, it flew right off the reel. I didn't have any problems with it spooling up. It didn't seem like it had a whole lot of memory. Of course, I conditioned it. But other than Seaguar in the last 10, 15 years, that would be really the only other one that I've used. I mean, I'm more than happy with Seaguar. I really don't have any intentions of using any other fluorocarbon. They wanted me to try it. I did it, so that's pretty much it. Oh, wadded fishing. Get out of here, man. You joker. Man, the Vile Bug is a skipping machine. Yep. I love it too, man. Sorry I'm late. What's going on, C? My dude. Bill, what line size and brand do you use on your spinner bait setup? Majority of the time, Bill, it's 15 pounds, Seaguar and VizX. I do like 20-pound mono as well, but I'd say 90% of the time I'm using 15-pound and VizX. It really depends on the rod that I'm using. When I was using stiffer rods for spinnerbaits before, I went with a mono, so I had some stretch, just because my rod was stiffer. But now that I'm using softer rods, I kind of like a line with less stretch, just because my rod is softer. Yeah, wadded fishing in the house. I've been crushing them on some deep cranks. Deep cranks, man. We go deep fishing in my lakes. Yeah, and yours is nice as well. Yeah, not too bad, man. I think it was only, I didn't even weigh it. You'll see it in a video coming up, but it's probably 3 1/4. It looked much bigger in the picture, but probably 3 1/4. Grimm's rods and wrenches. Appreciate the $2, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Do you prefer shock blades over Z-Man chatterbaits? I still have not used the jackhammer, and I got like 4 or 5 of them. I still have not used them. I love the shock blades. The shock blades is one of the baits that really turned me on to Picasso. I was using the Z-Man Project Z's. Loved them. If you guys look back at my videos, I had a ton of them. Loved them. Until I tried the shock blade. And then I just love the shock blade. I sold all the Project Z's. I don't even have it anymore. The shock blade is still one of my favorites. That being said, I don't have any time with the jackhammers, and I still want to try the one from Striking. So as of right now, the shock blade is my favorite. Do you prefer shock blades? Okay, let's answer that one. 2 weeks, and I get my t-shirt. Jeff, I called them last week, and they were shipping out. They should be shipping out tomorrow. Or she said next week, which would be tomorrow. Apparently, I didn't get enough orders to be able to make them a certain way. So the way that they had to do it for less orders took a longer time. But I did follow up with her. Yeah, they should be shipping this week. And I think I haven't looked on the site, but since it's the first now, the site should be open. If any of you guys want to order a Tackle Junkie shirt, they will be available. Should be available now. I'll have a link down in the description once the video goes live. But I ordered like 8 myself, so I'm pretty pumped to get them. How was your anniversary celebration? Pretty good. I'm trying to think what we did. Oh, we went and seen John Wick. I hate when this phone doesn't focus. Yeah, we went and seen John Wick, so it was awesome. John Wick 3. Thanks for asking, though. Sean, appreciate the $5, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. What's going on, Glenn? What's cracking, my dude? Kyle Daddy, what's up, brother? You ever come through North Alabama? I'll take you fishing. Sounds like a plan, man. What's going on, Brandon? Our anniversary was a few weeks ago. Number 47. Congratulations. That is awesome. I think we were 16. 16 years. I had to think about that for a second. Tried P-Line Tactical Fluorocarbon this year, and it's pricey, but it may have won me over from InvizX. That's cool. Very cool. It's like, there's some things that I would like to try, other brands and all that, but it's like, once you get to know something, like I know InvizX so well, I know, pretty much when it's going to break, just how hard I can pull on it as far as knots and everything go. I mean, I just know the line so well. It's like I don't even want to switch. Plus, I don't have any issues with it. It just, once I know it so well, I've learned it. I don't really want to use anything else. What's your thoughts on 6 cent swim jigs? I like that they have the screw keeper. Other than that, I mean, they don't really look like anything special to me. I mean, killer looking paint jobs and all that on there. I like the detail, but the Picassos are just as killer. That's kind of why I really haven't tried the 6 cent ones, because I'm more than happy with Picasso swim jigs. And the one they just came out with from Hank Cherry, I haven't used them yet. I got a couple of them. The other ones that I ordered on back order, it's got like a 0-degree line tie on it. I really like the way that one looks as well. I haven't fished with it. But like I said, the 6 cents may have one up on other brands with that screw lock on there. But other than that, I think they're pretty comparable to other ones as far as detail goes. Have you used them, Greg? When do we get to see the new wrap? Jeff, there was a couple issues with that. It's actually going back in the shop to get wrapped again tomorrow. I went to pick it up, and I'm looking at it, and it's the wrong finish. It was supposed to be a matte finish, and it's gloss. And the whole truck is a matte finish to it as far as the black on the truck. So that stood out to me right away that was wrong. And there's a couple little other issues with it I wasn't too happy with. So they're redoing it tomorrow, which sucks because I've already lost a couple days where I didn't have my truck to fish, and now I'm going to lose my truck again tomorrow. So it's not going as planned. Rippin' Lips TV, what's up, dude? What do you think about the Corrado DC so far? I'm not overly impressed, and I'm a big fan of Shimano and Daiwa. Dude, I can't tell you because I haven't even spooled it up. I just spooled up the SLX the other day and haven't used that one yet, but it is spooled. But I haven't even spooled up the DC yet. So, Pete, what's going on, dude? The screw lock rocks save a ton on trailers. Yeah, I'm sure it does. What's up? Waiting for my t-shirts. Can't wait. They look sweet. Awesome, Adam. I do appreciate the order, buddy. Absolutely. They have a little better hook up ratio, I think. That's cool. Sounds like you have been having issues with that truck. Yeah, man, it's been one thing after another. But you guys will see on the wrap, which it ain't going to hurt to go ahead and tell you guys now. I'm actually working with the dealership, which is pretty cool. I never thought I'd actually have like a truck type deal. So I don't know if I'll even have this truck that long. I believe I actually could be trading it in already next year for a different truck. But yeah, I'm kind of working with them, which is really cool because, like I said in the video that I put out after I got that truck, I shopped around. I found the best price, which with those guys, they're not even my local dealer. I mean, they're a good ways from me, but they had the best price. And after I'd signed the papers, after I signed the papers, made the deal, the general manager was standing right there when I was talking to the manager of the building. I was going to kind of give him some crap about YouTube. And the general manager had came up to me and said, hey, what are you guys talking about? One thing led to another. And, I told him about the channel and all that. And then, we hit it off, and now we're working together. So he's kind of helped me out with the truck. So it really worked out well. And it's just cool that, it's a dealership that I went to. They have the best price. So now when I'm talking about them on videos and all that, I can honestly say you're not going to find a better deal just because I'm the one that shopped around. I found the best price. And to this day, I still look around to make sure that I did get the best price. And to this day, nobody's still beating their price. So I'm more than happy with working with those guys. And you'll see that on the wrap. And I'll talk about it more once I get the wrap done. But they really are a cool group of guys to work with down there. I really do like the guys. What do you think is best? Tackle backpack? I'm not sure what the best would be. I like the Okuma ones. I really like the PC phone one. Tackle Warehouse one seems pretty popular. But I don't know really what the best was. I guess it really depends what you're looking for in a bag. I mean, there's a ton of different options out there. Aaron, I appreciate the 20 bucks, brother. You didn't have to do that. I do appreciate the donation, though. You get all the donations, guys, I put back in the channel. And I do like to do a little giveaway for everyone that donates. We do have 2 packs of the Structure Bugs. Bama Craw and Black and Blue, my 2 go-to colors. The Hoss, kind of like a Rage Craw. We have the Exo Sticks. We have the Plasma Tail. We have the Hook All from Rapid Fishing. And some more of the Rapid Fishing line guides. You guys really seem to be digging these. I love them as well. So a couple more packs of those. And Colton, I appreciate the buck as well, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Now, those of you that are just getting on, before or after work today, I went out and did a little. Well, my boys did. I was going to record them. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a little bluegill fish off between my boys. And last minute, my youngest, he didn't want to be recorded. He's kind of weird that way. He didn't really want to be on video. I guess what it is when I do record, it kind of takes away from my time with them. And I think it kind of bothers them that, I'm not really spending that much time with them because I'm busy recording. Anyways, we didn't record, but my youngest caught like 35 bluegill, and my oldest caught around 12 or so, but he quit early. So my youngest whooped him pretty hard, but it was a lot of fun. And my wife, it was funny, all we had is a little crappie gear, little ultralight rods and things like that. And my wife goes, hey, there's a bass over here. And I didn't plan on fishing at all, just because I knew I'd be putting on worms and changing bobbers and everything all day. So I didn't bother bringing a baitcaster for myself. And my wife goes, hey, there's a bass over here. So I took one of the kids' rods, I put on a square bill, first cast, I caught the bass. So that was pretty awesome. But it was a good time. Chuck, appreciate $2, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Glad to see you on this Sunday evening. Yeah, guys, I should be able to do every Sunday moving forward. Like I said, with Game of Thrones and hockey and Mother's Day, it kind of threw everything off. And I think Father's Day is coming up, so maybe I'll miss on that one. Other than that, though, I should be on every Sunday moving forward. It's all good. You're doing a great job. Love watching your vids. Much appreciated, brother. Did your wife get to keep your smaller dry bag? I think she kept both of them, because I'm not sure where they're even at. I think she took them upstairs. But definitely when I got to put my rain gear back in the boat, I'll be snagging one if I can find them. Great channel. Love your videos. Appreciate it, Brian. Wanted fishing. I have a trophy for the fishing day whenever it happens. Hey, Greg, don't rule me out yet for Friday. I'm just debating on the long drive. Depending on how late we stay, just because I got to get up early work on Saturday. But don't count me out yet. As long as it's not going to, have thunderstorms and all that, I still may end up going. I'll just talk with Watts, and maybe I'll follow him down there if he's going to stay really late, or maybe we'll work something out. But I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Chuck, enjoy them while you can. I still fish with my boys, with the oldest being 28. That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I think that's pretty much what it is. Anytime that I want to record, and maybe when I was a little bit younger trying to do some of the vlog stuff, they just didn't like it, just because, again, I was kind of, I wouldn't say ignoring them, but I wasn't spending that much time with them because I was trying to get shots or record something, and they just get aggravated with it. So those rapid line ties came in handy during the fishing trip on my vacation. That's cool. Hey, Doug, did you post any pictures? How'd it go, man? Yeah, the line guys, yeah, these are awesome. If you guys haven't seen me use these, I do have a video using those, as well as they're in my last video, how to spool up a baitcaster. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. I've done videos in the past about spooling up a baitcaster, but never one start to finish and explain it the way I did. I'm not sure if all you guys dig that video or not, but I thought it was pretty good as far as instructional and really how to do it. I mean, I kept watching it back myself, and I thought somebody could learn a lot from it. So hopefully you guys liked it as well. How do we fish when there is a lot of seaweed on top and the lake overfills? So a lot of grass on top. Guess you could punch through it or throw a topwater. A frog or something like that. Huge shot. Great video you did on the braid backing. I'm for sure making the change. Yeah, Bill, it really is a pretty good deal. I really do like using the braid backer. And it's nice, too, end of the season and all that. If you want to strip off your fluorocarbon or your mono, whatever your main line is, the braid just sits there right on the reel. It doesn't spool up like mono would. It's going to last forever on there. You can just keep it on there pretty much for the life of the reel. Headed out fishing in the morning, only to get to 60 tomorrow and a low of 39. Dude, are we back in like fall or early spring or what? This weather is crazy, man. I think just the other day it hit 90 here, and now a low of 39. That is crazy, dude. What's going on, Josh? What's going on, Jack? JT. Travis, what's going on, brother? It's been a while, man. How you doing? I'm probably going to start spooling my reels that way. Josh, yeah, dude, it really does make a difference, man. I know a lot of guys had left some comments on Instagram and all that saying I'm wasting time and blah, blah, blah. But put the time in, do it that way one time, actually try it out, and you'll regret not doing it all along. Again, I watched that video from Aaron Martins years ago. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to waste that money on braid and blah, blah. I made up as many excuses as I could think of just because I didn't want to spend the time doing it myself. And now that I did it all last year, it's well worth the time to put into it. Again, if you find some cheaper braid, like the PC Fun braid on Amazon, like $20 for the braid, you can spool a dozen reels with that as far as backing goes. I mean, it's worth it to do it. And like I said, you get a little more distance on the cast. Huge shout out to Brandon McCord of West Frankfort for winning the BFL All-American. That's cool. It's cool. Thank you, Jeremy. Enrique, what's up, my dude? J Beats and Waves, what's up? Whoa. What would you recommend for an algae bloom? 1 to 2 feet of visibility at best. Southern Cali is going through an algae bloom. Even our clear lakes. Man, the lakes that I fish, you guys know, are muddy. And when we get a bloom, I mean, there's no visibility the way it is. And when you get a bloom, there really isn't any. Normally there's at least for us, so you normally if a fish kill during those as well. But it's kind of funny. We had one here recently. Normally it's really small fish, little bluegill and crappie and all that. And my buddy was at the lake the other day, and he said there was big dead carp, bass, crappie, all floating in the water and everything. And I mean, that's pretty sad to see, bigger fish dead as well. But I mean, if you 1 to 2 feet of visibility is still pretty good. Like I said, if I have an inch or two at best, that's fantastic. So I mean, what are you used to having as far as visibility goes? Glad to hear you're considering the possibility of going YouTube full time. Hope it works out. You have the best fishing channel on YouTube. I do appreciate that, Clinton. What I was kind of getting at in the video talking about it was I know that I'm now going to be working with this dealership. So when you guys see the link down below, I'm asking you just to click the link. Obviously, I'm not asking you to go buy a truck. If anybody does want to buy a truck, obviously go there and mention my name. I'm not getting paid by truck sales, so don't think I am. But if you are in the area, or even if you want to order a truck, you're not going to find a better deal. Like I said, just because I did the research, I found the best deal. That's where I went. But since those guys are kind of helping me out now, it's kind of one of the things that I was talking about. That's something that's getting set up. I'll have a little more income with them helping me. So that would kind of push me a little bit further to going full-time YouTube, just because the guys that go full-time YouTube, I'm sure you've all heard them say that there's no way you can make it on views alone, just because there's no money in it. You need some sponsors to help you, or you're going to go broke very fast. Again, the dealership's going to help me out, so that was kind of what I was leaning towards. So when I do talk about them, all I'm going to ask you guys to do is just click the link down below, give them some traffic, some internet traffic, and obviously if you need a truck, go there. But that's the main thing I want from you guys, is just help me get that link, some traffic. So, but yeah, it's going to be a ways down the road. Like I said, I'm not making much on here right now, so I do have a pretty good job. So for me to take the leap from my job now that I've been doing for like 25 years to risk it all with YouTube, I mean, it is pretty risky, just because I've seen it go sour for quite a few guys, and they don't even know that they really even did anything. Like Fluke Master is one of the guys that I'm talking about. He lost a ton of subs like that for something so stupid that I'm not even going to bother to repeat. But I mean, you just never know when some of your followers could turn on you for no reason, and really you didn't even do anything. So that's kind of one thing that I'm a little worried about. If you go all in, something stupid happens they don't even know about, then you're losing all your subs, losing your revenue. I mean, it could turn into a big disaster once you've already quit your job. So I don't know. It's a lot to think about. Post some on Instagram and Facebook. Went all right, but fishing conditions were rough. Water was high due to a lot of rain. Had a couple of rainy, cold days. That sucks, man. Yeah, dude, we got a lot of rain here, and there's flooding. Even going to work, I got to take a detour just because the roads are all flooded still. I mean, it's pretty bad. D Bass, what's up? No, I never fished Mille Lacs. Sean, you late? Best all around lure? Probably like a lure that can catch fish anywhere. Stick bait. you know, worm, something like that. My favorite lure to fish all around is going to be a squirrelbill. But I mean, probably a lure that gets bit day in, day out, you know, Cinco probably. I caught a catfish and some bluegills, but no bass, though. My dad did the best. He caught everything but a bass. He even caught a rainbow trout. That's awesome. Well, at least you guys caught some fish. You didn't get the W. At least you didn't get the W, you know. Hold on. Throat's getting a little dry. What I'm saying is at least you didn't get the W. Why is the merch site shut down right now? I'm going to look into a shirt. I thought they'd have it back open, JT, but they said they're shutting it down the 15th of every month, and then they open it up the 1st of the month. That way they can stay on top of orders. Apparently, I didn't get that many orders the first month because she said the shirts should have already been shipped out. They're getting shipped out starting tomorrow just because it took a little bit longer with how they had to make up the shirts because I didn't sell that many. So they couldn't do it, I guess, the faster way. You got to have so many shirts to be able to run them a certain way, I guess. So they're shipping out tomorrow. The site should have been open, she said, on the 1st. Maybe it'll be open tomorrow, but I'll go up there tomorrow and make sure that she opens it back up. But the point of it is just so they can shut it down in the middle of the month, get the shirts made and shipped out, and then open it back up in the beginning of the month. So I'll test drive one. Appreciate it, Jeremy. Yeah, just go up there and mention my name, you know. And again, I'm not asking you guys to go buy trucks. The main thing I'm asking you guys to do, just click the link. Let's show them some love with some internet traffic. And test drives will be awesome, too. Getting into bass fishing. Wish me luck. Good luck. Man, what's going on with my throat right now? Good luck, Adam. Lakes I fish average about 20 to 25 foot visibility. I use braid backer, but never for main line. Chuck, I would be lost with that much visibility. I'm used to maybe 6 inches on a good day. I dunk cast a 5-pound killer whale and caught a 4-ounce bass. Cool. Thoughts on Cast King Speed Demon rods. I haven't used any of the Cast King gear. The only thing I have for Cast King is the rod racks, which I do love. I hope it works out for you, TJ. You've got an awesome channel on YouTube and great info. I do appreciate it, Josh. I mean, time will tell. I mean, a few other things are going to have to fall into place for me just to give up my job that I've had for, like I said, 20-something years. I do have a wife and kids to take care of, so I just can't quit like a lot of the younger guys do. They don't have any responsibilities. They don't have any kids. They don't even have a home. So if I was still younger, living with my mom and dad, of course I would take the leap. But I got to be smart about it right now. My area has maybe 2-3 spots with a very good viz, but the others are a bit stained. Not much of a problem. Thank God the fish are good. None have died. It's not that bad. Well, that's good then. We probably need to change things up too much then. Just wondering if an algae bloom, which is green, would change my choice of lures. If I were to be fishing muddy water, which would be brownish water. For me, like I said, there's really no visibility anyways. I never change anything when we have a bloom. But if you still have a couple foot, I really don't see it being an issue. Again, I don't have really any experience with that at all. But a couple foot of visibility still is still fairly clear in my mind. Again, just because I'm used to 0. So for me, though, fishing muddy water, I don't change anything. Dark colors, rattles, a lot of vibration. That's kind of what I do. But as far as for you goes, with still having that much visibility, if it was me personally, I wouldn't change up anything. I make way more money as an abortion doctor than I ever could on YouTube. Well, that's just fantastic. Yes, I was worried about getting the W. Yeah, we all worry about getting the W. I tell you what, you see in my next video coming out Tuesday, I was worried about getting the W in that video. Yo, out here in New Haven City fishing for striper, and we speak. Wish me luck. Enrique, dude. Hope you catch them big, man. Stripers, that's got to be fun. My uncle had, I'm not sure if they were hybrid or what they were. They looked like a striper. I think they're around 6-7 pounds, the ones we were catching. I thought he was calling them hybrids, but it did look just like a striper. He put them in a pond, and they were a blast to catch. So, man, if you're catching some big ones, dude, that's going to be awesome. Sounds like you're out of practice talking out of practice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little, what do you call that? A little dry here. Ever thought of doing a rod or reel giveaway? I haven't, but that's probably something I could do. I mean, I got plenty of rods here. Probably could do a giveaway. The only thing with that, then you got to ship the rods, and shipping rods is a pain in the butt. That's really the only thing probably holding me back from that. Getting everything ready for tomorrow, and I realize my son has outgrown his PFD rushing to academy. Yeah, gotta have one of those. Best soft plastic color for tannic water. Tannic water. Then they come down in Florida. Is that what they talk about, the darker tannic water? You know, again, without fishing it, I really don't know. Maybe some of you guys that are down south could leave a comment on there. I would think maybe a brighter color. Maybe something with some chartreuse in it. Again, without fishing it, I really don't know. I don't really have hardly any experience at all with clear water. Some of that kind of stuff's common sense. But 99% of the time, I'm fishing mud holes. No problem, Sergio. Northern bass, or does it really matter, dude? I caught my first pounder bluegill on a public park. Sweet, sweet. The limit out here for striper is 28 inches, 20, 30 pounds is average size. Dude, that would be awesome, man. A 30-pound striper. I can only imagine the fight. Like I said, the ones we were catching were like 6, 7 pounds. So a 30-pounder, dude, that's got to be awesome. I think we caught them on rattle traps. I think it was red-eye shads. What color are you using in local Midwest Merc? My go-to color, probably black and blue or a June bug. Something dark. June bug is the green pumpkin of tannic water. You know what? I think David Dudley was this dude, did a video on that. I thought he was talking about that. June bug was really good down south. Yeah, Florida and South Georgia, June bug has been good to me. Yeah, me and Doug are pretty close, so we always bust each other's balls, though. I'm not taking it serious. It's all good, Northern Madison. All good. Last Wednesday was my best day ever at a local lake. Caught 15 fish total, 13 bass, and 2 bluegill. It was a little expensive, though. Lost a few lures, and a rod broke when landing the 13th bass. Hey, man, that's fishing, though. As long as you're catching them, you know. What size do you use in your Calcos bait holders? Oh, you mean the bait sacks? I use pretty much a small for almost everything, even like bigger top waters and things like that. Even if the head sticks out, it's not that big a deal. As long as the hooks are contained within the bait sack, that's all that matters to me. I have a couple medium, but you know, hardly even use them. I pretty much put everything in the small. Calcos Fishing, 20% off. Use code TJ81. No, I never fished in Virginia. June bug for toxic or tonic water. Where's all the thumbs up? That's right, man. We got, what, 41 thumbs up, 76 people on. Yeah, I guess with me slacking on these Sundays, I lost a lot of the viewers. We were up to like 140, 150 viewers on Sundays. Now we're 76, half of that. That's all right, though. I got the good guys, right? The loyal followers are still hanging with me. Anyone just getting on, though, we do got a little giveaway. Anyone that donates, 2 packs of structure bugs. We have the Hoss. We have the Exo Stick. We have the Plasma Tail. We have the Hook All. And we have the Line Guides. Anyone that donates is entered in that little giveaway. There we go, 53. Moving now. Junkie, you know fishing report for Shelbyville. I have no idea, bud. Better than the Googans and gals, according to my wife. It's fishing time. What's the reason? It's fishing time. Oh, that's the reason. I got you. Yeah, it could be too. I didn't think about that. But it is like, what, 7 o'clock here. So, I mean, it's going to be darker already in other places. So you would think some people would be tuning in. But yeah, I didn't think of that. I don't fish Ren. I never fish Ren. I love the plasma tails. You guys know that the 4.5, that's my go-to trailer for the old chatterbait. Dobbins rod question, like those are just Okuma for you. No, I used to be with Dobbins. Dobbins makes a killer rod. There was a little customer service issue I had with them as the reason I left them. But yeah, I love the Okuma rods. The softer actions of the TCS rod is the reason that I went to Okuma. Love those rods, and like I said, I still have a handful of Dobbins rods behind you guys, but I do prefer the actions of the Okumas over those, so that's why I'm using the Okumas. But yeah, Dobbins makes a really nice rod. Always good info. Keep it up. Appreciate it, Timothy. Still daylight here. That's cool. What do you feel about Guggen baits? I ordered some in my last order. Haven't broke them out yet, but just inspecting them, just looking at them. I mean, really, they look just like striking baits. Like I said before, I believe, and some of you guys said it as well. I believe the patent came from Strike King. That's why they're so similar. So if you don't want to look at it like you're buying Guggen baits, look at it like you're buying striking baits. You know, the trench hog really does look killer. I think I got the Bandito bug and then the Kraken craw. I think that's what it's called. But I mean, they're good looking baits. If you don't like the Guggens, big deal. Just look at the baits, you know. Again, I got nothing against the Guggens. I don't like some of the stuff that I've heard about them. But I mean, I'm not going to not buy the baits because of that. Just because, like I said, they look like a striking bait. So just say you're buying striking. Or change the packaging. Love the plasma tail on the owner jig. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. That'd be cool. Ever fishing Washington County? Yeah, I fished there once before. I didn't do that good, but that was, hell, that could have been 10, 12 years ago. Glenn, appreciate the $5, buddy. You're interested in the giveaway. Finally got the garage organized in the new house. Can get my boat out now. It's hopefully going to be doing some fishing soon. That's cool. Very cool. Rain is at its normal summer bite already. Isn't that pretty much like flipping bushes, Greg? All the guys that I talk to that fish Ren, I think it's all they do is just flip brush. Got to fish my first co-angler event the other weekend for Bass Nation. Broke my 2 PBs, one smallmouth 4.5, largemouth 5.2. Took second with a Ned rig. Awesome, dude. That's awesome, Jason. Chuck was thinking of getting the rod mule. What's holding me back is will it still be good with the 6 cents rod socks? Your thoughts? Those are neoprene, right? They're a little bit thicker. Let me grab one real fast. Hold on. I just don't know how many you could get in there. I mean, I can get 8 or 9 in here, no problem, with the regular rod sleeves. But those neoprene, I think it's probably going to hold you back as far as how many you can put in there. Maybe only 5 or 6. So I don't know. I guess it really depends how many rods that you want to carry. I know those neoprenes too. Those are, I mean, they're pretty heavy. I mean, guys have asked me why I never went to those. The reason I didn't is just because they catch the wind too. And again, it just makes them heavier. But I mean, obviously it's a little bit better protection, but I've never had an issue at all with the rod gloves. But it's up to you really just how many you want to carry. But it's definitely going to cut you back on a few, I would think, just because they're so much thicker. They tear pretty easy, but like, yeah, pretty much any soft plastic, they all tear. You get a couple fish out of them, so. Going back to the topic of spending time with the boys, aka the girls, what are your plans for Father's Day? I don't even know when it is. Depends on which Sunday it is. I'll have to work, so probably come home and hopefully the wife cooked me a big meal. That's pretty much it, probably. Just depends when it is. Come on down to Chester and we will go fish Kincaid. Possibly, Aaron, I might be at Kincaid this Friday. You could do a sweet video there. Yeah, I've been there. It's kind of a funny story. I've been there only once before. And old Waded Fishing, I'm sure he's not on here anymore. But that's a lake that he fished all the time. He kind of like grew up fishing that lake. That's kind of what he told me. And you guys know I don't fish clear water. I don't even hardly know how to fish clear water just because I've always fished muddy water. So anyways, we go there. And I'm out of my element again. It's really clear water there up on the, I guess it'd be on the south end there. And I'm kind of out of my element. I'm not catching any fish. Old Watts has already caught a couple fish. But we end up moving further north. The water's getting more stained. It's getting more dirty. I felt right at home. And I think I ended up beating him like, I don't know, 15 to 3 or 4 that day. And I got free lunch out of him. So that was awesome. That was the only time that I fished that lake. But it's definitely a really nice lake. And I'm sure there's a ton of awesome spots on that lake. So But again, not knowing anything about it, I just put on a spinnerbait and just was hitting wood. So it worked that day. When's the next time you're going to go fishing with the Barbie player? He was supposed to maybe go to Kincaid with us on Friday, but he canceled. So I'm still debating what I'm doing. But I would imagine the next week or so. I forgot what video it was from. Debo, funny guy, but he threw your name out there giving you props. Yeah, I believe that was on his reel cleaning videos. He said he kind of learned from watching my videos. Yeah, I like Debo. I watch him. Yes, and mid-range crankbaits on Rip Rap. Yeah, I'll forget there too. I believe that's pretty muddy water too, ain't it, Greg? Love the rod gloves. I tell you what, I really like the ones from Calco's Fishing too, just because the inside diameter is much smaller. They really hug the rod. Because I've had a few of the rod gloves, the ones actually from Rod Glove, I've had a few of those fly off on the water. Where the ones from Calco's, they're much tighter. I don't see those flying off at all. I have a dilemma. I don't know which Okuma flipping rod to buy. Just getting into flipping. What do you suggest, longer or shorter? I have 2 rods now. Love them. If you want the actual flipping rod from him that has the flipping guide, that's on the 7.6. It could be on the longer one as well. But did you say here? Hold on. Let me ask you this, Gary. Are you, this is because I did a video on this for Mr. Tackle Box. You're calling it flipping. Are you actually going to flip with the rod, or do you mean pitching? And when I'm pitching, I like a shorter rod. I like a 7-footer just because I'm way more accurate with it. But if you're going to flip, you definitely need a longer rod just because you're not actually depressing the thumb bar and actually making a pitch. You're just flipping. So for that, you would need a longer rod. I have a 7.6. I do believe he makes an 8-footer as well. But I really do like the 7.6. That's actually a really good swim jig rod as well. I like the 7.6. Tied a double fluke setup last time out. It took me about 15 minutes to get it all tied up. In the second cast, I put it in a tree. It took me 15 minutes to get it out. That's awesome, Jeff. I'm still laughing from your comment on my last video too, dude. That was hilarious. I live in central Oklahoma. Due to record rainfall here, half the lakes are either closed or severely flooded. Yeah, we got a lot of rain here as well. Again, like I was saying earlier, I got to go around to even get to work just because the roads are flooded. Lakes are up, muddy. I mean, this has probably been one of the worst springs that I can remember in a long time. Father's Day. Oh, it's on the 16th. What's the date today? First, so it's in 2 weeks. So it means I'll be working for Father's Day. That's awesome. Come to Buffalo, New York. Take you to some nice clear ponds. Man, I wish I just had time to travel. I think I just got my work schedule changed up yet again. So I will have 2 days off in a row to possibly do something. But then I got to be back at work the following day, get up 4:30 for work. So I don't know. I'll be able to do a little more traveling than I thought I would be able to, but not what I hoped for. Go to Johnson's Creek on Kincaid, always muddy water, north end of the lake. You have to get a map and really check it out. What he say? No, Aaron, need to get him on some big girls. That's right, man. Are the big girls in the Clearwater? That's where we need to go, man. He said he likes muddy water. I don't like muddy water. That's just all I know. Just because it's all I fish. So, I mean, I like it just because I know how to fish it. But I'd rather fish some clearer water, I guess. Okeechobee flipping. Then you may want, I believe he makes, Okeechobee probably got a lot of grass mats, things like that as well, much bigger fish. So you may want to go to the 8-footer, I believe it is. Could be a 7-11, just because it's a much heavier power, I believe, than the 7.6. Plus, it'll give you a little more distance on your flip. So you may want to look into that longer rod. Again, I have the 7.6, but I do believe he makes like a 7-11. What's your favorite bait to use on a wobblehead swim jig? Probably beaver type bait. What do you do for work? My dad owns a mobile truck washing business. He's been doing that for probably going on like 40 years. I started doing that when I was like 13, been doing it ever since. So I wash trucks for a living at the moment. Fish in my part of Illinois are still on bed. Shows how bad and cold the weather's been. Usually off beds and deep by now. Yeah, man. I don't be honest. I don't even know what the heck's going on in our lakes because water temps were upper 60s, low 70s. There's no fry or nothing on the banks. Not really catching a lot of fish, which makes you would think that maybe the females have already moved off the banks. I really don't know what's going on. And I was at another lake the other day. Same deal. There's no fry or nothing on the bank. There's really no signs of the females bedding. If it's over, it's been over for some time. Obviously, I can't see into the water to see what's going on. Maybe they're just going up there. I really don't know what's going on, dude. But I do know there is carp everywhere. And normally when I'm on that lake and all those carp are up shallow, bass have already spawned. So I don't know. It's just been a screwy year. I really have no idea what's going on. I just tie on a square bill, dude, put the foot on the gas and hope for the best, man. That's how I fish. Wish we could get some of that rain down here in the south. My grass is crunchy and lakes are getting low. Yeah, you can have it, dude. We're flooded big time up here. Need some good rip covers. Tackle Warehouse is out, and so is Trey. Any recommendations? Yeah, dude. The ones I use. 1 second. Hold on. The ones I use, what were we at? Team Maroon. The ones I use are actually from PC Fun. And they are pretty much the same ones that Trey sells, but they're just a little bit softer. But I've been using these the last couple of years. So it says it right on there, PC Fun. I think you can get them at Amazon directly through PC Fun. But it's the same style that Trey has. What bait should I use for very heavy grass? Again, I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. Is it on top or is it thick grass, submerged grass? I'd imagine if it's all matted, you could punch it. Top water frog. If it's submerged, again, I would probably still flip into it, flip in front of it. Again, I don't have a whole lot of experience with grass. I fish pretty much mud bottom, pretty clean though. Really no vegetation in the lake except for some like shoreline grass. We have a lot of brush, a lot of laydowns, a lot of stumps, a lot of wood, and a rock. So there's no really vegetation to even fish on the lakes that I fish. Pretty much the lakes that I fish, they just really suck, basically. I mean, I'm comfortable on them, but you never go out there and just whack them, dude. That's why it's hard for me to even get fishing videos because, I'm putting up every time I go to these lakes with my boat, I'm putting up footage. You're getting ready to see another video Tuesday where there's not a lot of fish catching action, but I put them up. But you know what? There's never is really a whole lot of fish catching action. There was years ago when there was some grass in the lakes and they weren't so muddy, but now it's to the point you fish all day for 2-3 bites. And, you don't get your first bite for a few hours usually. So by then I'm cranking so fast and doing things so fast just because I'm anxious to get a bite. So, they really do suck, basically. But for as bad, and I've said this before, for as bad as they fish, I would still miss them. If I ever moved away from here, I'd probably still travel back to fish those lakes. All week I've been working from 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. I honestly can't wait to fish. I bet, man. It's some long hours. Throw a heavier swim jig is what old Greg is saying in the grass. What power and action would be best for a chatterbait? What do I use? I've used a heavy power with a mod action, which I think it's just too much power. Medium heavy mod action is what I've been throwing lately, and I like that. Also, medium heavy fast works as well, but probably something with this a little bit softer tip, something that you would use like for your spinnerbait is perfect for a chatterbait as well. That's kind of what I like. The top of the white container next to the desk are those Z-Man bait binders. No, these are little like pouches for gloves. These are Fish Monkey gloves in there, and a little pouch just to hold them. If you guys are looking for fishing gloves, again, TJ81, fishmonkeygloves.com, 20% off. Just like my other codes, I don't make any money on that. I get those codes for you guys. So again, I put all those links down in the description. If you want to save some money, check out the links. What fuel treatments do you use? I use the Mercury ones. The ones from Mercury. Concept Z. Have not spooled it up yet. So couldn't tell you. But I mean, I can't say that I've heard anything bad about the reel. Phantom Fishing, he's got one. He loves it. A few other guys I've talked to love them. So I'm sure I'll like it as well. I'm going to use it for more finesse type fishing. So I was going to wait to spool that one up till summertime because that's when I'll be throwing a shaky head more and dragging a worm. And that's what I'm going to put on that one. More of a finesse worm type rod, you know. So, or on that reel, I guess. I'm going to put on either 10 or 12 pound test fluorocarbon. I think 10, and try and throw really light, like shaky heads, 1/8 ounce, things like that with it, just because guys say it's known for tossing light bait. So I'm going to test it out with that. So the bass in my area are just starting to bed. I'm up north, but they should be in post spawn. Yeah, then if you're in post spawn or should be in post spawn up north, then yeah, I still don't know what's going on, but then we should be way past that. Found bass on beds here on the west coast today. Or did I mention triple digit temps in south? That's crazy. Wish I could go fishing. I had surgery a few weeks ago, and Iowa has not stopped raining. Yeah, we went through that. Now it hasn't rained. Well, you know what? It just rained again yesterday. To be honest, it rained again last night. I was going to say we haven't got rain in a while, but yeah, it just did rain last night and then again last week. So no problem, bud. Team Maroon, no problem, bud. Favorite plastic? A crawl, whether it be a rage crawl, bile crawl, just some type of crawl. Chesapeake Bay. Have you heard anything about the new trolling motors coming from Lowrance? I haven't, Jeff. I've seen them though, and I thought it only would take one battery. Is that what I've seen? Because that's what I kind of liked about it. I thought it was like 60 or 80 pound thrust. I'm not sure really remember what it was, but I thought you only needed one battery for it. And since I didn't have the room, if I decided to keep this boat, that's what I was kind of thinking that trolling motor would work for me. I don't even remember what I read about it, but I remember thinking to myself that I could use that motor with my boat because I didn't have the room for more batteries. 2 more weeks. If 2 more weeks, I have my weight restriction lifted. I'm going to hit it hard. Awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been hitting the gym pretty steady. I'll probably go again tomorrow morning. It's hard. I tell you, it's hard to work that in. I'm sure you guys used to watch Kevin Bullington, and he has a YouTube channel, fishing and all that, a lot of lure reviews, and he got into the weightlifting, and ever since he did, there's no more YouTube and there's no more him posting fish pictures. I'm not sure he even fishes anymore, but I can see with working full time, trying to do the YouTube deal, lifting weights. I mean, it's hard to work it all in, especially having a family, kids, wife, and all that. I mean, it's hard to find the time. I mean, I want to stick with it as long as I can. It was much easier in wintertime just because I didn't work as steady. I wasn't fishing. I could hit the gym pretty hard in the winter. But now when fishing's, full blown, work's crazy, I mean, it's hard to find the time to do it. But I figure if I don't go 3 times a week, then I'm just kind of wasting my time. I think you really need to get there at least 3 times a week to see a difference. No, it's singles. It's a great group to fish with, though. Did I miss something there? Were you talking to me? If I asked you something, I done forgot. I done forgot what it was. Anyone just tuning in, we do have a giveaway. Anyone that donates in the super chat, structure bugs, 2 packs, exo sticks, amazing bait Hoss, plasma tail, rapid fishing line guide. Or this is the hook all, and 2 packs of line guides. And we got 65 thumbs up. Let's get that a little bit higher, guys. What are your thoughts on Googan baits? Every live stream we get that question. I just ordered some in my last unboxing video, and like I said earlier, they remind me of Striking Baits because they bought the patent from Striking. So if you don't like the Googans, but you like Striking Baits, I think they'd be worth a shot. So I'll be trying them out here soon. I'll let you guys know how they are, but I'd imagine they're going to be pretty good. Okay, if I can get my boat put back together. I've been using black and blue and green pumpkin jackhammer chatterbaits and having trouble finding the best trailer in Massachusetts. Water's still around 65. Any advice? I tell you what, the plasma tail is one of my go-to trailers for a chatterbait. There's no drag to it. It doesn't affect the vibration at all. You don't get any lift out of it, again, just because it doesn't have a boot tail. So if you're trying to keep the chatterbait down, it is a perfect trailer for that. I just like the profile of it. I do really well with a plasma tail for a trailer. If I do use a boot tail, normally I turn it upside down or I cut off the boot if you're looking for that baitfish type profile. Another one of my go-to trailers is a Strike King blade minnow. That's another good one there. Again, it doesn't have much resistance, so it doesn't make your chatterbait lift or rise just because they're known for that issue anyways, but your trailer can cause that as well. But the blade minnow, again, doesn't have any doesn't have a boot tail or nothing like that, so it doesn't cause that. But that's another trailer as well. But again, I really like the old plasma tails. What's your favorite crankbait brand? You guys know two of my favorite square bills are the 1.5, KVD 1.5, and the Bomber Square A. So it would have to be one of those two because I could not live without those two square bills. Watched an old video of yours where you showed how to rig the rage tail anaconda worm. Do you ever fish that worm anymore? I haven't in a while. I think I still have some of those. I think I actually just ran through those the other day, but I haven't fished it in a while. That was an awesome worm at the farm ponds that I go to. Man, they used to just smack the heck out of that worm. But no, I have not fished it in a while. What is the hook all? I got a video on this. It's got these discs, okay, that you put in here, and it's great to keep a trailer hook on your spinnerbait or something like that. But what I like to do with them is, like when I rig up like like a Kitech swim bait or something like that, I'll put one of them underneath the swim bait to keep it from sliding down. But they're great to keep your plastics up on the hook and things like that. Again, I have a video on these, so definitely check those out. I think you should do a video on Guggen baits just to end this. Well, Greg, I did say in the video, I figure a lot of people would watch the unboxing video because that's what a lot of you guys come for, I think, the unboxings. So I did say in there that they did look like solid baits, and I'm sure they're going to be great. And I think I even mentioned the striking deal, so it don't matter though. I'm still going to continue to get the questions just because somebody won't see that video. What size plasma tail are you using on your chatterbaits? The 4.5. 4.5. Greg says, I can tell you they do work, but they are nothing more special than the rage baits. I mean, since you've used them, Greg, is it basically a striking bait? Ever heard of the live target hollow belly cross? Saw it on YouTube. I've seen it, haven't used it, but I have seen it. Looks pretty cool. I've been fishing a chatterbait with a green pumpkin plasma tail frequently this spring. Unfortunately, not a single bite on this combo yet. Keep fishing it, man. I've showed plenty of pictures and fish catches and videos with that combo. It's killer. I like it. Do you leave your clamshell soft plastic in the package or box them? Because I'm always find myself closing them all perfect and straightening them after I get one out. OCD thing. I've done both. I mean, the clamshell, they take up a lot of room. I've boxed them as well. As long as you put enough like in the box, they don't move around as much and they keep the integrity of the bait, you know. But I've done both. I mean, boxes take up room, but these take up room as well. I tell you what I did order though at the Memorial Day sale. I ordered a dozen of the KVD speed bags. Just because I like to try new things. I've done the box thing, which I do think Plano boxes is probably the best way to organize and store your soft plastics. Again, you can open up the box, see every color that you have, see all the baits that you have. Usually everything's nice and straight in there. That's my preferred way to organize and store soft plastics. But I like to do different things just to give you guys other options. So I ordered, like I said, a dozen of those speed bags. So we're going to try and organize soft plastics with those, and I'm going to label the bags and all that. I think with like suitcase, like luggage tags and all that, that's kind of my idea for that. And we're going to see how that goes. That way I can put, all my, structure bugs and rage tails in one, all my vile craws in another, all my creature baits in another. And I'm going to see how that goes, and we'll do a video on that, let you guys know. But that could be another way to organize your baits as well. Have you ever tied feathers on treble hooks on top water baits? I always put them, but thinking about trying. No, I buy them. I've never tied my own, but I use feather trebles all the time. But yeah, I've never tried tying my own. When is the bait giveaway? It's right now. I do a giveaway. I guess when I first started doing these live streams, a few of you guys donated out of the blue for whatever reason. Which again, I do appreciate the donations, but I never asked for them. But if you guys like to donate, that's fantastic. Again, I just put the money back into the channel, but I want to give back to you guys that do donate. So I always have a handful of baits here to give away to anyone that donates. You're entered in the giveaway. So after this live stream ends, I'll go through the names, pick a random winner, and then I'll leave a comment once the video is uploaded. You'll need to respond to me. I'll get your address, and then I'll ship out the baits. But again, it's going on right now. Anyone that donates is entered in the little giveaway. 2 packs of structure bugs, the Hoss, Exo Sticks, Plasma Tail, Hook All, Rapid Line Guides, probably $50 worth of stuff. Again, no matter what you donate, I enter you in the little giveaway. It's just my way of saying thank you for donating. Bandito bug catches them for sure. I think that's the one that I hear guys talk about the most, the Bandito bug. So, yeah, I got that one, Crack and Crawl, or is it Clacken or Crack and Crawl, whatever it's called, and then the Trench Hog, which Trench Hog is the one that I'm most excited about. What is your favorite shallow water crankbait series, 10 feet or less? 10-footer, DT10, 6-footer, DT6. I really like the DT series. And, of course, I'm going to shallow crank. My first 2 that I'm going to grab is going to be KVD 1.5 Bomber Spray. As far as mid-depth goes, really it's hard to beat the DT series. When I deep crank, if you want to call that deep, I mean it's shallow for some guys. It's normally really early spring, later fall, maybe close to winter time and all that. So fish are really not all that aggressive. That bait doesn't have a real wide wobble. It's got a really light rattle to it, so it's not really that invasive. That's kind of why I like it. It's buoyant. It comes out of snags really well, being balsa. So that's really my go-to mid-depth crankbait. Best fishing glasses. I use the Wiley X. I was using Solar Bat for a while, but they discontinued the only pair that fit me, and now I'm using the Wiley X Boss frame. I really like those. Yeah, there's not much of a difference at all. They say they are not alike, but the actions are identical. Like I said, they do work great. Still the same bait. Yeah, not even fishing them, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, they just look like striking baits. Who was your first fishing inspiration? Good question. I really have no idea. I mean, I fished with my dad, obviously when I was younger, just like most of you guys. This bluegill and the panfish, basically catfish. I didn't start bass fishing till around the time I met my wife, so around 20 years or so ago. And I really started fishing on the farm ponds that you see in my videos. So I really think there was an inspiration for that. I just think I hooked my first bass and I'm like, man, this is much different than catching a crappie. I think just the experience is kind of what turned me on to bass fishing. At that time, I never watched bass fishing. I never really knew anything about it. Like I said, it wasn't until I caught a bass, probably while I was pan fishing out there, that I thought, man, this is cool, and that's when I got into it. So, do you like Bass Mafia boxes? Yeah, a bit pricey, but I like them. Yeah, got a few of them you can see right there in the corner. Great, like terminal tackle type box. I have one of the KVD bags. I like them. Yeah, I just think it'd be a cool way to do it if you have a lot of different plastics. That way you can kind of bag them up and all that. I think I got a few of the small and 8 or 10 of the bigger ones. But we'll see how it goes. I may not like it at all. I don't know. But if I have them organized like that, because I used to take those big containers with me, and those just take up so much room. That's kind of why I got away from that. went to boxing them, then I went to bagging them, and now I'll just try these speed bags and see how it goes. Great stream. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. I appreciate you saying that, though. Haven't been on here in a few weeks with Game of Thrones and hockey and Mother's Day and all that. I'm getting back in the groove, though. Is that right, Doug? Wet cold spring up here in Ontario Lakes. Seminole still sitting around 48, 49 degrees. Bass opener is in late June. Closes November. Must be nice to fish all year. Dude, that has to really that has to suck, dude. If it doesn't open till June and already closes in November, water temps are on. Hey, that is a really short season. But up north, you guys got a lot of great fishing though, too, though. I meant to say, use the Bomber Square A on my Okuma TCS all-purpose rod. I was worried the bait wasn't heavy enough to cast, but it did very well, even with being windy. That's awesome. The TCS, you got the 7-footer, the all-purpose 7-footer, the 6.9. That 6.9 should cast it really well because it loads at an 1/8. The 7-footer, I don't know what that loads at. It could load around 3/16 or so. I really don't know. Favorite fishing memory. It's kind of funny. I did a little clip for Mystery Tackle Box the other day. It's going to be on their channel. They're going to do like a Father's Day type video, and they wanted a few of us guys to do a little clip on our favorite fishing memory with our dad. And that really was a good one. Probably one of my favorites. My dad doesn't get to fish that much, and we don't even think we fished together last year. He's always busy working or doing something and all that, so we don't get out that much together. And doing a little buddy tournament, me and my dad versus actually Michael Watts and his dad. And what we did too, it's kind of funny, when we caught a fish, we would take a picture of it, measured, and then we'd send it to the other guy. So you knew every time your phone went off that somebody caught a fish. So you were always constantly hearing for that ding from your phone. But we were in an area, I was throwing a square bill, of course. I caught 2 keepers on one bait, one on each hook, and my dad was catching one as I brought mine in. So we had three keepers on 2 casts. So I got to send 3 pictures right away to Mike. So his phone was going ding, ding, ding. So I'm sure he was like, oh man, they caught more. And then right after that, around the corner, my dad caught a 3-pound kicker. So of course we won the little tournament. We got a free lunch out of it and everything. It was a lot of fun. So that was probably one of my more, fun fishing favorite, I guess, experiences, I guess you could say. Gotta Go Billions is starting. My stepson directed this episode. See you next week. Appreciate it, Jeff. Video with the young boys soon. No, we fished today after work. We went to the Park Lake and did some bluegill fishing. My youngest caught like 35. My oldest caught like 12. But I had plans of recording today. Just I thought it'd be fun to put that video up. But they weren't digging it. And I think when I record, I think it kind of takes time away from them. My youngest really doesn't like that. So I didn't record today. I should have, just because it was a lot of fun. But gotta respect their wishes. Man, Matt, do you like crankbaits? Love throwing them here with all the rocky shorelines. Dude, you've been killing it, man, with all the fish you've been catching. That's pretty awesome, dude. Especially with the new boat. That's awesome, dude. DT crankbaits do well for me. Helsinki shad are killer in Virginia. That's awesome. Yeah, I love the DT series. They make one heck of a bait. Steve, appreciate $2, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. It's nice to see bigger channels like you still do the live streams and interact with their fans. Yeah, I mean, I do this because I like, hanging out with you guys. So, I mean, we've been on here an hour and 10 minutes. There's been times in the past we've been on here for 2 hours. You guys keep talking and asking questions. I'll stay on here. I don't have anything else to do, so I do appreciate you guys. Thanks, TJ. Good to have you back on Sundays. Good to be back, man. Appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you guys next Sunday for sure. I would invite you to my personal pond, but I don't want my hogs getting out on social media. Dude, I wouldn't tell nobody where it's at, I promise. You've been watching videos, even when I go to my mud hole lakes that I go to, that fishing sucks. I don't even say where I'm at. And as soon as somebody, I think guys do it to be kind of like, smart ass, whatever, if they recognize the lake, they say it in the comments, then I erase the comment. I don't even let it be in there, just because I don't want all that pressure on those lakes. Going to try my homemade Tokyo rig tomorrow. That's cool. I got mine made up as well. I haven't thrown them yet, but you guys know how it is. So just when fishing's tough, you don't like trying. At least I don't like trying anything new. I go what I have confidence in because you're not getting bit on anything else. So you need to just go what you have confidence in. And that's kind of why I have a hard time trying new things out. I get all this new stuff to try, and I go right to the square bill and right to the spinnerbait. Yeah, I'm trying, Doug. I'm getting in there, dude. I'm getting more comfortable. Were you happy or disappointed with the ending of Game of Thrones? I was pretty disappointed. Not what I thought would happen at all. Thomas Wood, appreciate $10, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Awesome videos. Keep them coming. Much appreciated, brother. Much appreciated. Never watched Game of Thrones. You know, I didn't start watching it till last year. We watched all 6, 7 seasons, 8 seasons, whatever it was. We watched them all last year. And I'm glad I finally did because I seen what I was missing. I mean, that show is not going to be for everybody. But even my sister and my dad, they didn't watch it either till, I think, this year. They didn't like the little guy. I forget his name now. They didn't like him, so they didn't want to watch the show. And I said, man, he's like one of like the best actors in the show. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to watch it. They finally watched it. Now they love it. So the 6.9 TCS, yeah, that one loads at an eighth. I use that one for all my light baits. It should toss the square eight pretty good. So you got me into Biospawn, so I got a recommendation for you. 6 Scale is local to me in Texas, and the poppers are fire. Also, what's your favorite topwater lure? So 6 Scale, they make lures too. I knew they made rods or reels, so they make lures too. Excuse me, my favorite topwater lure has to be Striking Race Toad. I'm getting ready to buy my first used bass boat. Any advice? Definitely get starter up first. Get some earmuffs on it, or take it to the lake. You know, make sure the motor's in good condition. That's going to be the most expensive thing on the boat, obviously, besides the whole boat. You want to make sure the motor is working and check for leaks. I think Tactical Bassin may have put a video out on that, what to look for in a new boat. But you definitely want to check out underneath the boat, make sure there's no serious damage, like I said, leaks, holes, and check out that motor. That would be the main things I would look for. Lee, appreciate the $4, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Hey, Nathan, you just joined, dude. I think you've been asking me like all week about the stream, and you're just joining. Blue Boy, appreciate $2, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Do you ever fish half-acre ponds? Probably one of the ones that I fish is probably about that size, so yes. I agree, full of floating trash from Storm. Favorite smallmouth bait? I've never caught a smallmouth, believe it or not. They're not in the lakes that I fish, so I couldn't tell you. You better get your frogs ready for Friday. Dude, I'll bring nothing but frog rods, man. I love catching them on top water. Yeah, if I end up going, dude, you're going to have to tell me just what to bring, or I'll end up bringing like 2 dozen rods and like the entire tackle room. So if I only need like 3 rods and a few baits, that'll be perfect. Just let me know what to bring, and hopefully we get on some hogs, dude. I really need to get some Biospawn lures. I haven't tried any of theirs yet. Greg, if I end up going Friday, dude, I'll bring you some. Just let me know some colors you want. Do you mix up your trailer colors for chatterbaits or always match the lure? Like if I'm throwing like a shad type pattern for like a chatterbait or even a spinnerbait, I'll throw that fluorescent shad plasma tail. So I mean, I will mix it up. I don't always match. Sorry, I've been busy. I only asked once, didn't I? I asked the week before. I don't know, dude. I'm just giving you crap, buddy. It's no big deal. No worries at all, bud. You can always rewatch the stream. Nope, no smallies for this old boy. Best pond lure, spinnerbait, Cinco. Oh my God, TJ, you got to come down here so you can catch your first smallie. Matt, you can't be too far from me, dude. Maybe we can hook up this summer. No problem, Jeff. No problem at all, buddy. Yeah, Greg, I know you said what? Flipping? You said frog. What about cranking? I don't remember seeing a ton of rock at Kincaid. Is there a lot there? I did have Watts running the boat, so he really don't know what he's doing, you know. I'm in Illinois. Do you ever fish for carp? Any tips? I don't fish for carp. I've caught a few. I've caught about a 10-pound carp on. Well, I've snagged a few on square bills. I had one actually eat a 5/8 ounce football jig with like a 4-inch crop happy on the back. He had it in his mouth. So I had one eat a jig, but I know they don't eat jigs, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I really don't have any carp tips. With all the carp that was at the lake, or up shallow, I should say, what was that? Friday at the lake, I should take up carp fishing because they were, I probably could have put out the dip net and scooped some up. That's how many carp were like all around the boat and all shallow on Friday. It's crazy. And not too far. I think around 3 or 4 hours ain't too bad. Maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere too. That ain't too bad. Do you have a favorite fishing TV show? I mean, it used to be the Elite Series when all the big guns were over there. Zona's awesome fishing show. The Bass Pros. Pro Team Journal. Probably those. Bass Pros is probably one of my favorite. Hey, Watts finally caught any fish yet? Yeah, I think he's on the board. He's got a few. He was at the lake that I went on Friday. He was there the week before. I think he caught a handful of fish. So somehow, I don't know how, but somehow he caught a few fish. Not too much frog rod, swim jig. So frog and swim jig, I'll probably throw in the same rod. So I can probably just bring 2 of those, Texas rig and heavy punching. So that's pretty straightforward. I can probably get away with a few rods. So no crankbaits, dude. I'm going to cry, man. No square bills. Thank you for your time. You give us a ton of info. Thanks. And your wife is brilliant, which makes you a very smart man. Trying to work through, understand, and use her barometer video better. That's cool. Matt, she will be in a video with me coming out Tuesday. We went fishing on Friday, and we'll be in that video. Or she's in that video with me for Tuesday's upload. But I do appreciate the comment, bud. Do you use the original or Palomino? I'm not sure I even have any more. I used to. I have to look at my box. I'm one of those guys that, I like my staple lures, ones that I always use. But then when I get new lures, I forget about the old lures. Or when I lose an old lure, I don't rebuy it just because I'm buying newer lures. So I'm sure that's one that I've used in the past that I probably don't have anymore. I used to use, the countdowns from Rapala, the countdowns. Those are good. I need to get some more of those. Those probably work pretty good. Still. Just curious, TJ, I don't have, tell me exactly, but how much do you spend on tackle a month? Probably not as much as you think. But I'm always trying something different just to try and come up with a video or something that maybe you guys want me to try out. Maybe $100, $150. Something fishing related, I would say. $150 maybe. Whether it be trying to reel out or fishing line or lures or like I think Tackle Warehouse on Memorial Day. I think it's the only thing I ordered. I think that was $150. I bought like 12 speed bags and like 5 packs of soft plastics. It was a new one that Reaction Innovation came out with. I ordered a couple of those. I think it's called the Spicy Beaver. I was trying those out. I had to buy 2 memory cards the other day just because the video you're going to see on Tuesday only has one view because I was setting all my cameras up. I thought it'd be cool to have one facing me, one facing my wife, one to the water. We get to the lake, and I only got 1 memory card, so I can only use one view. So I ordered 2 more memory cards to have a couple spares in the boat at all times in case I leave my memory cards back at home. That's fishing related. So I'd say anywhere from $100 to $150 probably a month for fishing stuff. I have a few places you can throw square bills. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm bringing that for sure. The square bill dude never lets me down, man. Carp seem to be everywhere at the lakes I fish at the moment. Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is. It seems like it's that way all the time, though. I don't really know. I'm assuming after the bass spawn, maybe the carp move up after the bluegill or something like that. But it seems like they're always up after the bass spawn. And when the carp are up shallow, it's like in those areas, I never catch any bass. So I don't know if they're spooked by the carp, or if it's just a timing deal that the bass have just got done spawning, so majority of the big girls are out and the carp are up shallow. I don't really know what the deal is, but it seems like this time every year there's just carp everywhere. I only have about 4 rods on deck. Well, I'm going to match you, dude. I'm going to bring 4. And are we putting Watts in the middle? I'm assuming if it's going to be us, dude, are you going to bring your boat so we don't have to haul one down for a couple hours? And are we going to put Watts in the middle? Now, he was crying about that with Phantom. Is that video out yet? No, that video's not even out yet. That video will be on the Mystery Tackle Box channel from Phantom Fishing. And Phantom's in front, Mike's in the middle, and I'm in back. And he was crying in that video that he was in the middle. He didn't have a good opportunity to cast or whatever. But he's in the middle. If he would have done it right, he should cast right after Andy, and then I'd be after him. So I had like last dibs. So Mike should have caught more than me, which he didn't because I got a free lunch. I'm sure Mike will have something to say, though. You love the spicy beaver? Yeah, I thought it was a newer bait. I thought I'd seen that on Tackle Warehouse in the news section, so I picked up a couple packs to try out. Most surprising bass catch ever would be the bass, which I'm calling a 7+ pounder. I got a video on it. I did not have a scale with me, probably because I didn't even think bass this big were in this little park lake. But that would be the most surprising catch for me, just because I didn't expect a bass to be that big 5 minutes from my house. You got to think, I pass this little pond or a little park lake all the time, heading to bigger lakes to try and catch a big bass, and here it's right down the street from me. So that was a very surprising catch. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, the lake that I normally take my boat to hooked into a 10-pound carp on a football jig. I thought that would have been a bass, and it was a carp. So maybe this is an odd question, but I only really fish a tiny pond close to me. I really only catch half-pound bass. Any tips on catching bigger bass? I must be doing something wrong. I mean, the pond itself could be overpopulated if it's just a ton of small bass. One of the ponds that I fish had that issue. We took out like 500 small bass, and now everything you catch in there is decent size. So that could be an issue. There might not be any big bass in there. But throwing a bigger bait, if there are some big bass in there, smaller bass will kind of shy away from the bigger bait. So that's an option, toss a bigger bait. But the smaller fish are normally really aggressive. So if you're on a school of fish, you know, the bigger fish most likely are below the school, maybe the smaller fish. So once you weed out a lot of the little ones, eventually you could catch a bigger one. But if all you ever catch is small bass, it just could be an issue with that pond too, though. But throwing a bigger bait, like I said, could weed out some of the small ones, and the bigger bass could go for it. So you can try that. He probably doesn't spend as much as we think, but probably spends more than he or his wife thinks. That's a good possibility as well. Any tips for jig fishing? You know, I'm not a huge jig guy, to be honest with you. Tips for jig fishing. I'm thinking of the basics. I'm just trying to think something out of the ordinary that would be a good tip. I would say maybe don't overwork it. You know, I think let the jig have its presence in the water. I mean, hop it, drag, whatever you want to do. But I would say don't overwork the jig. Let the trailer and the skirt, you know, do the work. So maybe, I think that would be a good tip. Don't overwork the jig. But again, I'm not a big jig guy. I mean, I'll pitch a jig every now and again. Normally, I lean towards plastics. I love a swim jig. If I'm going to throw a jig, typically it's going to be a swim jig. I love covering water with a swim jig. But as far as like a football jig, I don't toss too much. I don't like to disturb the bottom that much just because it's a mud bottom. So that could be a tip. If you do have a mud bottom, you may not want to drag a jig. You may want to hop it. That way you're not stirring up as much mud. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of tips for jigs, I guess. Yeah, carp here are up shallow too, and the surface some monsters 40 pound. I haven't seen any that big, but I remember seeing one. It was years ago. It looked like if you put like 3 basketballs together, that's what it looked like. It was ginormous. But all the ones I seen the other day, they probably average Probably average was probably 4 or 5 pounds. I mean, there was a crap ton of them, dude. Anything new out that you have tried out for bass? Anything new? Anything new? I don't think so. Nothing that you guys don't know about. So, what are the best places to fish in Chicago? I have no idea. I've never been to Chicago. I fish one mud hole that's 18 minutes from me. That's why I fish it, because I don't have a lot of time and I can get there fast and get home. So, and then the other mud hole that I fish is about 45 minutes from me. And then I fish another lake that's only 10 minutes from that lake. So I mainly only fish on my boat, I would say 3 lakes. And then I fish a handful of farm ponds from the bank, obviously. And then I fish a couple lakes with phantom fishing. Other than that, that's pretty much all I fish. So I wish I had more time to travel and do all that, but I pretty much just got to fish what I can, just because if I spend my time traveling, then I'll have no time fishing. So that's why I just fish close. That way I can spend more time on the water, and then I can cry about it, how crappy the lakes are. What's your favorite bait? What is your favorite bait, casting rod and reel combo, or separate for 250 or less for cranking? Combo. If you want to put a combo together for 250, you guys know I love the Okuma cranking rods, and I would go with like the Tatula CT, like in a 6.3. That'd be a good combo there for under 250. I mean, I love the TCS reels, but those are 200 by themselves. I did use the SX for the first time the other day. That reel is money. I love it. That's 220 though. So it'd be hard to get a combo with a TCS and a rod for under 250. So I would say, yeah, if you're going to put a combo together for 250, CT I always recommend, because it's an awesome reel for the price point. And again, I like the Okuma rods, cranking rods. I mean, the Dobbins Fury. I mean, cranking rods are not typically that expensive. I mean, you're just looking for a softer action rod. The Shimano ones are good. So, of course, you can spend more on a cranking rod, but you don't need to. I don't believe you need to. You're not really looking for sensitivity. For a cranking rod, you're more or less looking for the action, that softer tip. With all the requests or questions about lures, I would think you would try new lures or techniques. I do understand, though, about keeping to what works and make you confident. Yeah, I mean, I try them. Like, I try out lures a lot, but I don't try them enough to give you guys an opinion on them. Like, even like I'll be throwing a vile bug or whatever. Maybe I stop getting bit on it. I'll try something else, but then I won't have any confidence in it because I've never fished it before. So then I'll go back to the vile craw or whatever it may be. So, I mean, I try new plastics all the time, but I never leave them on long enough probably to catch any fish on them or give you guys my opinion on them, just because I don't have many patience. So if something's not biting right away, it's like, I just want to go back to what I know has worked in the past. And if I'm not getting bit on it, I still have confidence on it, and I just feel, okay, I'm not around fish. But if I'm like fishing with a bait, and I'm just not catching nothing on it, I'll blame it on the bait. And then I just want to go to something that I have a lot of confidence in. I guess the problem, Doug, is, again, the lakes that I fish, they're pretty much terrible, and they're not number lakes. So again, if when I say I fish for 8, 9 hours, 7, 8 hours, whatever it is, and get 5 bites all day, and 3 or 4 of them are jokers, that's an average day. So, I mean, especially if I'm trying to get a video off you guys, so I don't have the time to really experiment with lures and then not catch any fish either. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't get me wrong. I try a lot out. They're just not on the hook that long, I was saying when I caught that huge pound, or the huge panfish, I also caught a 12-inch skinny crappie. That's cool. Think it's overstocked. Yeah, most likely that's a problem. You guys can have the front. I'll fish from the back and let you guys fish the virgin water. That's cool. Appreciate that, Greg. And I'm running the boat. I don't trust Watts. We can fit in my boat with no problem. Awesome. Awesome, dude. Jeff Buton. I appreciate $2, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. Anyone just tuning in, we got a handful of baits. Anyone that donates, you're entered in the giveaway. 2 packs of structure bugs. We got the Toss. We got the Exo Stick. We got the Plasma Tail. We got the Hook All. And we got the Line Guides. Clear water fishing tips. I don't fish any clear water, so I don't really have any great tips for you. I'm sorry about that. So, what is the number one reel you wouldn't suggest to buy? I wouldn't suggest to buy. I haven't used really any bad reels yet. I really can't say that I have. Every reel that I have, I'm very happy with. I tell you what, guys, even the PC Fun reels, I talk about one of those in my video again coming on Tuesday. They're only like $60, guys. For $60, for that price point, it's going to be hard to beat that reel for the price. I mean, obviously there's better reels out there, but for $60, you wouldn't expect to get much. And that reel, it feels awfully solid for $60. That might be one to check out if you're on a budget. I mean, it really does seem like a solid reel for the money. But again, as far as a reel I wouldn't suggest, I can't say I've used a reel that bad that I wouldn't suggest. I mean, they've all been pretty decent. I mean, I've always done my research. I mean, I'm not going to go buy junk. I mean, as long as it's got good reviews, or I've held it in hand, or I know somebody that's used it, I'm going to try it. Or I know it's going to be a good reel if it's from a well-known brand and they put out quality stuff, then of course I'll buy it. But if it's some off-the-wall brand or something I've never heard of, most likely I won't buy it, just because, I don't want to end up with junk either. I ever wacky rigged a 3-inch stick bait, but crushing it for me here in local ponds. Never a 3-inch, no. It could be something I could try, though. My top spinner, what's up? I have one carp in my pond that I caught about 4 years ago that weighed 38 pounds. He's like a pet now that the kids like to watch. That's awesome. Yeah, I tell you what, there's a big, I don't know how big he is. I've never seen him. I've never caught him. I've never seen him out of the water. But in the water, I mean, I don't know how big around he is, but he'll surface. And dude, he's every bit of 3-4 foot long. I don't know how big he is. But the ponds that I fish where I take the John boat to, he's in that lake. And I've only seen one of them. And like I said, he surfaces every now and again. If I'm throwing a crankbait, I'll always throw it over there to see if I can snag him. But he is a big carp. I don't know how big he is, but he is huge. But 38 pounds, man, I bet that was a fun fight. If I could get one reel, what would you suggest? It would depend on your price point, bud. I always suggest usually the Tatula first, because for $130, it's really hard to beat it. It feels like a more expensive reel, and it really is hard to beat it. You can probably find it for $100 if you look online. So that's usually the first one that I suggest, if that's your price range. Do you use storm lures? Which is your favorite? Yeah, I love the Arashi Square 3. One of my favorites. I wish they still made the Rattling. They discontinued the Rattling, though. I'm assuming you want, if I can only get one rod, what would it be? Where's your one question at? If I get one reel, okay. One rod. Again, it would depend on what you want to do with the rod. But for me, the most versatile rod I have is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod. That's probably the most versatile rod I have. The rod that I probably use the most, other than a cranking rod, would be that rod. If you go YouTube full time, are you going to venture farther to other lakes? Oh, I would have no choice but to, because you guys see how I struggle now to get videos on these couple lakes that I fish, and I have to fish those lakes because I don't have the time to travel. So if I was going full time YouTube, obviously I would have no choice but to travel to get to better lakes, to get more content and catch fish, because I sure can't do it on the lakes I'm fishing now. Hey, Junk, any recommendations for a drop shot rod under $2 bills? Again, you guys know I like the Okuma rods, so I would recommend that. I even actually have a review. I did it like 3 or 4 years ago on the drop shot rod from Okuma. It's got a nice soft tip to it. I really like that one. See, Dobbins. The Savvy, I don't think they make the Savvy series anymore. I think they have the Sierra series. I've heard guys like those. I used to use Shimano rods back in the day, but the ones that I use, I don't even think that they even make anymore. So I wouldn't recommend those because I don't know, but I'm sure they're great. But majority of the rods that I'm using are the Okuma rods, so that's kind of what I recommend. I'm not forcing that brand on anybody. That's just the brand that I know, so I know it's a good rod. So you may want to check that one out. They're around 140 bucks. If you want a faster action, go to the EVX series because they're faster. The TCS is slower. Willing to spend $3 on a reel and $2 on a rod. 300 bucks on a reel. 300 bucks on a reel. There's so many options out there. I think it would depend really what you want. 300 bucks. I don't know. I mean, you almost don't even need to spend 300 bucks. It almost depends what you're looking for. Like if you watch the video I did on the TCS reel, there's nothing that reel won't do for me, and that one's 200. So I mean, do you need to spend 300 bucks on a reel? It comes to the point to where what options are you looking for? Do you want more bearings? Do you want the reel to look a certain way? Do you like a certain brand, grips? I mean, it's hard for me to say what reel I'd recommend for 300 bucks. If you're wanting to spend 300, Lose Custom Pro, awesome reel. It's probably 260, 270, but to me, it's no better than I'm just comparing to the Okuma reel. That's 200 bucks. So it just really depends what you want in the reel. So comparing those two, if you like the grips on the Lose, then that might be the way you want to go. So it really depends. It's hard to really say, to be honest. Are your local lakes pressured or just bad? Both. They're on the lake that I fish the most, the lake that I complain about the most. There are I believe it's three FLW pros, not like BFL guy, like FLW pros. That one is for sure. I know he's on the tour. The other guy, he might just be a big BFL guy, but one for sure is on the tour. He actually lives on the lake. He built a home on the lake. He's always posting crap on Facebook about him catching bigger fish. Obviously, he knows he put a ton of brush in that lake. He knows where all the spots are at, when and where to fish them and all that. But they have Tuesday evening tournaments on that lake. Like I said, plus you have him blowing it up, and it just gets a lot of pressure. And what's bad about it, it's muddy water. The fish are always shallow. Majority of what you fish in that lake is what you see, the obvious cover, and everybody's fishing the same crap. There's only so much rock on it. Everyone's fishing the same rock. Everyone's fishing the dam. Everyone's fishing the interstate. Everyone's fishing the stumps. Everyone's fishing it. And it gets a lot of pressure. Again, he doesn't help any. And the lake sucks. So it's muddy water. It's tough to fish. I don't know. It used to be better back in the day. And like I said, when there was more grass in the lake, now it's pretty much all gone. It's died off. There's a ton of shad in the lake, so they got a lot to eat. So I don't know. There's a lot of variables that come into play there. And plus, maybe I'm just not that good of a fisherman. I really don't know. Have you fished with the Lose BB1, not the Pro version? Not the BB1. I just spooled up the Pro actually in my video the other day. And I haven't used it yet, but I just did spool that up. I have an MBC Pro Max. It's my first big caster. It seems to work well. I bought the combo. That's cool. What is your relationship with Biospawn? They sponsor this channel. For those of you that don't know, I started using Biospawn. It was back when one of the first times Fluke Master came up here and I was fishing with him. He kind of turned me on to him. And actually the owner of Mystery Tackle Box is the same guy that owns Biospawn. You guys don't know that. Yeah, Biomon, they make some solid baits. You guys know that. And they got some big things coming, which there's a couple of baits that I'm really, really excited about. So, which obviously you guys will hear from me when they're available. Mike Gear, what's up, dude? Let my Lose over my Abu. Got a carp like that in the pond I fish. When spooling a reel, does the backing line need to be similar in diameter to the main line, or does it make a difference? Okay, the deal with backing, the idea is never to get down to it. Okay, never to get down to the backing. So it shouldn't matter. But if by chance you do get down to it, you may want somewhat of a strong line just in case if you ever get down to it, obviously a big fish is pulling some line. Maybe you snagged a big carp or a huge catfish or something, and they pulled out all your main line and you got down to your backer. So you might want to make sure that you have some decent pound test on in case that were to happen. But it should never happen. You should have enough main line on. And if you're fishing for bass and all that, you should have everything set up right. The combo should be set up right to where you never get down to that backing. But again, in a situation like that, you may want to make sure that you've got some decent on. I used to use 20-pound test mono, and I got away from the mono because the knot was too big. By the time you tied that one on, then you tied the connection knot, it was too big. And that's when I did a video on balancing your spool. A lot of guys thought that was crap. I don't do it anymore just because it's very time consuming. And it would be very tough using 3 lines. But with a bigger knot, it would throw the balance of that spool off. And I can always tell when somebody's spool is unbalanced, and when they make a cast and you hear those bearings zing like real loud, that's because the spool is unbalanced. And most likely it could be from, the knots being on the same side. Your original knot that you tie, or the arbor knot around the spool, and then if you do a connection knot, if they end up being on the same side, it would throw the weight off. And it was years ago when I found that out. I mean, I was taking the reel apart. I was oiling bearings, cleaning bearings. I was doing everything to figure out, why is this reel screaming on the cast? And that was what it was. If I took the line off, I started peeling the line off. And when I got to my first knot, I marked it on the edge of the spool. Okay, so I knew right where it was. So then I stripped all that line off. And then when I got down to the knot that I tied on the spool, it was in the same spot as the connection knot. So there was just too much weight on that side of the spool. Again, you wouldn't think a knot would make a difference, but it did. And with both knots on the same side of the spool, it caused the bearings, I guess, or the spool to be unbalanced, which would make those bearings scream on the cast. So to get back to your question, that's why I went to a smaller diameter line when I stopped balancing the spool, just because I wanted the knot to be smaller. So I use a 10-pound mono backer. If I'm going to use mono for backing, I use 10-pound. But in that video you guys seen the other day, the mono that I put on the spool first is 10-pound. Then I go to a 40-pound braid, which is about the same diameter as the 10-pound mono that I put on first. And then, of course, I go to my main line. So I know that was a long answer. You don't have to have strong backer because, again, you're not going to get down to it. That's the plan, that the backer never even gets wet. But like I said, if you ever do get spooled by a big old catfish, you may want some stronger line below just in case he does pull out all your main line. Okay. Sorry for the long answer, but once I get rambling on, that does happen. Thank you for your opinion on my top spinner. A lot of people... Oh, wait. That's not even to me. Okay. I do agree. I have a short attention span to lures that are not working. If I end up catching a couple bass, that is a good day. Yeah, Doug, I mean, to touch on that, I mean, you have guys like Tactical Bass, they're always trying out new lures and telling you they're awesome and catch a ton of fish on them. I mean, most likely, I mean, if you're on fish, if you're in a good lake, you got to think they're fishing awesome, awesome lakes. So if you're on fish and you're fishing a lake that good that has a ton of bass in it, okay, I don't really know if you flip in there, if they would bite the rage craw over the vile craw, would it really make a difference? So any new bait that those guys try or anybody tries on a new lake, most likely if you have that amount of fish in the lake, most likely any bait is going to work. I think what it comes down to when you're testing out new baits is going to be how durable they are, or maybe the action that it has. Again, that's kind of why I like the vile craw over the rage craw, because in the muddy water, the vile craw kicks a little harder, where the rage craw, to me, it has more of a swimming action. I get more thump out of the vile craw. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in a plastic. Does it thump harder? I always look for scent. To me, scent plays a big role. But I'd imagine any soft plastic is going to catch fish if you're on fish. It's just when I'm not on hardly any fish all day long, it's hard to say or it's hard to keep confidence in it just because I'm used to what works. But I mean, I guess I could probably do videos on is it durable? Because I mean, you can tear a bait up just rigging it on the hook, popping it out of cover. You can tell, but just by that if it's durable or not. Because I mean, they rip pretty easy just popping them out of grass and things like that. You don't even have to catch fish on them. I've gone through a ton of baits just rigging them up, like I said, when they slide down the hook, popping them through the water, whatever, however it is how you're working them, you can go through a lot of bait like that. But I think really any soft plastic will catch fish if you're on fish. It comes down to, is it durable? Maybe does it kick a little bit harder? You know, I think the question to be asked, does it catch fish? I think it's kind of stupid because I think really any fish is going to bite, you know, or any bass is going to bite whatever craw you throw if they want to craw at that time, you know. That's kind of my take on it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You guys tell me. What's your favorite bass? Summer soft plastic, 10-inch worm, ribbon tail, or a big shaky head, something like that. What baits do you suggest to fish around grass line between 9 to 15 foot of water? Maybe again, I have no idea. I don't fish lakes with grass. Good question, but I would suggest, or I would think to throw around grass lines between 9 to 15. I would just think if it was me, I would probably pitch a soft plastic in front of the grass line. That's what I would do to see if maybe they're in front of the grass or if you need to pitch in the grass. But I would just pitch a soft plastic or a jig or something like that. Again, I don't have any lakes like that to even fish like that, so I don't know. Caught 4.5 pounders today. It was a good. Wait, are you saying you caught 4 half-pounders today? It was a good day. Hey man, any day that you don't get the W is a good day. What do you think of the Tatula 10863 Tatula CT? It doesn't matter. I have the CT and I have the regular Tatula 6.3. I mean, it's an awesome reel. It's hard to beat for the price. If you could only have 5 bass rods, what would they be? 5 rods. You know what? I think I have a video on my top 5 rods. I think I do have the video. Okay, are we? Depends if we're talking 5 rods where you have to catch fish. If I have to catch fish, I would toss a spinning rod in there because you can always usually get bit, drop shot, shaky head, wacky rig, something like that. But if it was 5 rods, how I like to fish, how I want to fish, it'd be 5 cranking rods. No. It probably would be, it would be cranking rod, probably a medium heavy, moderate action cranking rod. It would be 2 medium heavy fast action rods because you can do so many things with a medium heavy, from spinner baits to soft plastics to jigs, whatever. So cranking rod, 2 medium heavy fast, then probably a heavy fast, by 7-foot heavy power fast action that I could use for baits that have maybe a bigger gauge wire hook, like a jig or something like that. Maybe a heavier flipping hook where I wouldn't want to use the medium heavy. So then I would say a heavy fast. So I say cranking rod, 2 medium heavy fast, 1 heavy fast, and then a heavy moderate fast. That's kind of what I like to use for frogs and swim jigs and rage toads, things like that. So those 5 rods wouldn't do it all, but those 5 rods would do it all pretty much for me and how I like to fish. And if I had to catch fish like it was a must, I would swap out one of the medium heavy fast for a spinning rod for finesse stuff. Before you buy it, go feel the rod first. Okay, not talking to me. How do I become a tackle junkie when I grow up? Buy more tackle than you'll ever use. Bass Geek in the house, guys. If you have not subbed to Bass Geek, head over there, give him a sub, watch all his videos, smash the thumb up, show him some love. That's my dude right there, man. I love the look of the Shimano SLX, but no idea how they fish. Yeah, Seth, that's all I can say, dude. It looks cool. It feels it feels fantastic in hand. I spooled it up the other day. It's kind of got like a tacky type feel to it. Love the grips on it. It's going to be my chatterbait reel for the time being, but it does feel awesome in hand. Are you bringing the camera and some Googan baits? It'd be a good time for it. I guess good. Yeah, I can bring some Googan baits, and I'm sure I'll record. It'll be fun. It's always a fun day when old Watts is on the boat. Why did you quit using Dobbins? May I ask? Best rods I ever used. I stopped using them at the moment, or when I did, because of a customer service issue. And at that time, I was actually partnered with Dobbins, but I didn't care for how they handled the situation, how they talked to me on the phone, so I left them for that. That being said, that was about the same time I was started using the Okuma rods, and the actions of the Okuma rods is kind of what the reason I went to. That's what turned me on to Okuma. The action of the TCS rods. I thought I was landing more fish with the softer action. I can still use the Dobbins rods if I want to. There's 11 of them sitting behind you guys, but I prefer the actions of the rods that I'm using now, so I'm not using the Dobbins rods. Yeah, but I've never said once it's a bad rod. It's a great rod. A lot of guys love them. I know a lot of guys that break a lot of them. I will say that. But other than that, they are good rods. I just prefer the rods that I'm using now. Do you use scents on your lures? Hard baits, if you're talking hard baits, yeah, I like the fish sticks on my crankbaits. Love it. How do you win the giveaway he's doing? Right now, it's a super chat giveaway. You guys donating, like right now, Tristan just donated $2, so he's entered in the giveaway. Glad to be back. Been a while for me. Glad to see you back, brother. Anyone that donates is entered in the giveaway. I've never once asked for donations from you guys. When I first started doing these, you guys donated on your. Pretty cool, just because I put the money back into the channel. But to kind of give back to those who donate, I want to do a little giveaway for you guys. So if there's 10 or 15 guys that donate, at the end of the video, I'll pick a random comment, and you guys will win. So anyone that donates is entered in the giveaway. 2 packs of structure bugs, pack of the Hoss. We have the Exo Sticks, Plasma Tail, 2 packs of the Line Guide, and the Hook All. Anyone that donates, again, is entered in that giveaway. Your chances are pretty good because there's usually not a lot of guys that do it. So you have a possibility of winning maybe $50 worth of stuff. But you'll have to look back, because once the video is done and processed, I'll put the winner in the comments below. So if you do donate, look back, respond to me, so then I can get your shipping info and ship that out. St. Louis Blues fan, what's going on, Ronnie? Can't you get a grip cover if you don't like the grips? Oh, on the reel? Yeah, you get those. I think Wind makes some, Wind grips. And I think the other company might just be called Real Grips. So yeah, you can change that up if you don't like them. Honestly, always spend more money on the rod. Yeah, I guess if you're looking for a rod for sensitivity, then you're going to want to put more money into the rod versus the reel. It just depends what you're doing. I'm mostly a Dobbins rod guy, but I just picked up a couple of the FX Extreme Angler Series rods. Very impressed rods. Very impressive rods. Give them a try if you get a chance. Cool. 300 Lose, Hyper Mag, or Chronic MGL. Haven't used either one, so I couldn't tell you, bud. How tough is fluorocarbon? Really only use mono and braid. Fluor has been recommended to me a lot. Is it worth trying? How much is the stuff you condition yours? What's it called again? It's called KVD Line and Lure. I think it's around 10 or 11 bucks. You can get it at Tackle Warehouse, TackleFreaks, Bass Pro. I mean, a lot of people carry that. But what else did you ask? Fluorocarbon, it doesn't have the stretch that mono has. I feel it's more abrasion resistant, but it's more sensitive too. So it depends if you're fishing clear water or muddy water. Fishing clear water, you may want to go to the fluorocarbon. It's less visible, but I kind of like it for the sensitivity. I fish muddy water, so really mono would be fine as far as visibility goes. But I like the abrasion resistance. Again, I like the it's more sensitive just because it's got less stretch to it. Victor, yo, TJ, how's it going? I just got on. Dude, we've been rolling for an hour and 55 minutes. You're late, dude. Are you planning on getting a new boat anytime soon? If so, what kind? Yes, sir. My plan as of right now, it could change up. I don't think it's going to because the new tracker is set up exactly like I like it. 2 rod boxes, big center storage. I mean, it comes with a 24 mold system. I mean, it really is a killer looking boat. And I always watch the new models come out, and they finally came out with one that's rigged up the way that I would do it. Only thing I got to add to it is a couple power poles, or maybe even talon. I may have to go talons just because there's not going to be a whole lot of room in the back with already having a 24 volt system in it. But most likely at the end of the season, I'm going to sell my tracker and get a new tracker. I think it's called the Tournament Edition. Let's see here. Ever fish Mann's auger-tailed jelly worm? I have great luck with them at ponds, but like none at lakes. Any idea why? Saugertail jelly worm. I'm not sure if I've seen the saugertail jelly worm. I don't know, but it's kind of funny. I have those lures. I think it was called a Yum Doozy, and it was just like a long tube-looking worm. That was something I called a pond lure. You know, I could never get bit on it at the lakes, but I could always get bit on it at the ponds. And I don't know if it doesn't look realistic enough at the lakes or what the case may be. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. I guess what it is, and it just could be you're in the right time at the right place and all that. I mean, a pond is much easier to catch fish than a lake just because you can find the fish much easier because it's smaller. But for whatever reason, I could never get bit on the doozy at the lakes. So I don't know what the case may be. It could just be, like I said, you're finding the fish much faster at a pond. Maybe you didn't fish it enough at the lakes. I don't know what the case may be. Most likely that's what it is. You're just hitting the fish on the head on the ponds. You're getting bit right away, and you're just not on them at the lakes. That's my guess. But yeah, I always come across those lures every now and again that I think are awesome, and I'll buy a bunch of them because I'm killing them at the ponds with them, and I get to the lake and I can't catch any fish. So is it the lure is no good? It could be that, or it could be I just wasn't on them that day at the lake. So I don't know. Let's see here. James, new to your channel. I do appreciate you checking me out, James. Where is your home lake area? I'm in the Midwest here. I'm in Troy. Need to head to bed. Have a good night. Appreciate you tuning in, Doug. See you next week, brother. I've been fishing with mainly hard baits. What do you recommend for getting started and using soft plastics? I would say ribbon-tail worm. Focus. I would say ribbon-tail worm, Senko, crawl, something like that. Something that you can just rig up and drag. You can drag a worm. You can pitch out a Senko weightless wacky rig. That's easy to do. Again, Texas rig, drag a crawl, ribbon-tail worm. They're easy to fish. So I would start with that. Probably number one would just be a Senko. I mean, it's hard to beat a Senko. Stop it, you're making me blush. We're brothers, Hank. You're my bro, dude. I'm behind on comments. Haven't liked this video up, guys. Awesome giveaway, TJ. Appreciate it, brother. Joe, appreciate the $5, buddy. You're entered in the giveaway. I have a Hyper Mag and Chronarch with quite a few other. We'll let you try them out for reviews, and I'm in Illinois. Maybe I could buy some Dobbins from you. I don't know. I guess, Joe, if I ever do sell them, that would be nice because I wouldn't have to ship the rods. But I mean, I get asked probably daily to sell those Dobbins rods, and eventually I'll sell them. They've been sitting back there for a few years just collecting dust. But that would be cool though to try out those reels. Maybe we can set something up sometime. Calling it a night. We'll watch the rest later. Thanks, Jim. Catch you next week. All right, Old Ohio Angler, appreciate it. What kind of spinner baits you use? Do you use the trailer hooks on them? If I use the trailer hook, do I put the trailer bait on the trailer hook? The original hook. Well, I tell you what, the trailer hook can mess up the action of your trailer. A lot of times when I run a trailer, I never run a trailer hook. That being said, majority of the time, whether I run a trailer hook or not, you know what? I think I'm saying that wrong. Let me reread this. Okay, do I use a trailer hook? Okay, and I say this in the video. I have a video, I don't know what it's called. So I think it's called Watch This Before You Toss Your Next Spinnerbait. And that's a very informative video on spinnerbait fishing. Definitely check it out if you haven't. But I hardly ever throw a trailer hook on my spinnerbait just because normally I'm throwing them around brush, things that I could get snagged up on. That extra hook is just going to get you snagged. So normally I hardly ever throw a trailer hook. That being said, if you put a trailer on your spinnerbait, your trailer hook could interfere with that. So I would probably, if it was me, I would not add a trailer and a trailer hook together. So one or the other. Let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah, Nathan, I would just Texas rig it. I mean, if you're going to throw a Senko, you can wacky rig it, or you can just Texas rig it and throw it out. The Yamamoto Senkos, they got a great fall rate. You can throw those weightless and they will sink. Others like the Exo Stick, it will not. It doesn't have any salt in it, so it's not going to sink on you. But you can Texas rig something like that. Again, you can Texas rig a craw, Texas rig a ribbon tail worm, and just drag them. Me and Tackle Junkie are going full time, and our group will be the Tackle Geek Squad. Let's do it, dude. I'll do it if you do it, man. I just bought a 765 Champ Extreme, a 745 Champ Extreme. Also, I live on a few 100-acre lake in Midwest Illinois. That's awesome, dude. I do have the, I got a 745. I got a 744, and I have a 745. I used to have a 765 Champ a couple years ago, but I sold that one. Love the channel, man. Keep up the great work. You ever fished Champlain in upstate New York? I haven't. I haven't really fished outside Illinois. Got a tournament this weekend going for big smallmouth. Yeah, I can't help you out, bud. No clue. Lots of talking. My throat is hurting. I'll tell you what I do, Nathan. I say it in that video. For spinnerbaits, I never start out with a trailer on my spinnerbait. I kind of wait to see if there's a spinnerbait bite. And then if there is, I'll add a trailer to try and upsize my catch. But I feel I just get more bites with a smaller profile. So 95% of the time, I start with no trailer on my spinnerbait. And then again, if the bite is on, if I'm catching fish after fish on a spinnerbait, then I'll add a trailer to maybe get a bigger bite. But yeah, I say that in that video. I never start with a trailer. What Helios gear ratio do you use for cranking? It's 6.6. What's your jig rod when you were with Dobbins? 44 and 45. Yeah, 45, it's a beast. I like 44 too. You get a nice long cast out of 44. It was great for like dragging football jigs and things like that, but I still use it for a jig rod as well. I think I put 3/8 and half on the 44, and then half and up I put on the 45. What top waters? Where'd I go? What top water soft baits would you recommend using for bass? I mean, you know what? If you're new to bass fishing, soft baits, again, get yourself a Senko, get yourself a pack of craws, whether it be Vile Craw, Rage Craw, and just start with those. Don't overwhelm yourself. I mean, fish will hit a Senko anywhere. You can Texas rig it, wacky rig them. You get a ribbon tail worm, drag them. But I say the first two to get probably a Senko and a crawl. Painted blanks. I have the newer ones. What are they called? Not the DX. What are they called? Now you're gonna make me look. Hold on. Hold on. I'm grabbing one. What are these? They are the Extreme Champion Extreme HP. I don't think it's painted. It's a matte finish. I know the series before this, they were all gloss. So I'm not sure if this is the newer. I'm not sure if this one came out. Yeah, this was new. This was a new series. I think when I stopped using them. So I'm not sure if they came out with another model since then. But this is the newer. What's it even called? The Extreme. Where are we at? Yeah, I've heard of Granny Bass. Team or likes. Oh, we got it. 100 likes. Awesome. Hank, you're the man, dude. Do you watch Flair fishing? Does he even fish anymore? I thought he was a farmer. Oh, Flair Farmer. I think it's what he called Flair Farmer Channel or something like that. That made me think of old Hank. Oh man. Hank, what did you say that in your last video about 32 boats and buying farms? That was funny, dude. That had me rolling, dude. I watch Flair every now and again. He comes up in my recommended somehow. But he makes a decent video. But I don't think he fishes too much anymore. Good luck getting he wants to work this week. I'm sure he'll have fishing on his brain. Just remind him not to forget his lunch money. Well, I mean, even when he shows up to work, it's not like he really does a whole lot, you know. He's usually eating. These are the newer ones. Yeah, I thought they were, yeah. Pig farming, not bass either. That's funny, dude. That's funny. Tell you what, guys. It is, I don't know what time it is, but we've been on here for over 2 hours. My throat is dry. It's sore, and I think I'm going to take a break, like Jay Beat said. He does not always not always about half the videos or a little less. He has honeybees now. Yeah, I think I did see he did get honeybees. And he's got like what? I don't know how many four-wheelers and boats, and like Hank says, he's got like 32 boats and a few farms. So YouTube must be treating him well. But guys, yeah, we're on here over 2 hours. I'm going to call it a night. I haven't ate dinner yet. I'm going to eat some dinner. Except the old lady. I think, what's that new show? What's that show? Swears you. What's that show called? Can't think of it now. What was it called? It was on years ago, and they made a movie of it. It was on HBO today. Deadwood. I'm going to go watch Deadwood. Hopefully my wife taped it. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Make sure you look back when this video is processed. Look back in the comments because I'll post the winner of the Super Chat giveaway. So anyways, you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys next week.